Hey, Christina. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about some of my takeaways from my trip uh, last week because I think it was um, really eye-opening for me and kind of renewed my passion for what I do as a coach because I had been struggling for a little bit and just finding I still love what I do, but just like lost kind of my heart for it, I guess. And I just couldn't figure out what I was missing. And so when I went to this leadership conference, I was I kind of I was going into it with an open mind, but I was still kind of skeptical. It's a corporate event. So I knew the agenda kind of they would be pushing would be more, more productive. And I don't necessarily believe in that, just the way they kind of present it. But they, you need to go for elite and you need to go for the team cup and get 1 million success club points. And that's always kind of icky to me. But the one thing that I really took away from it, and I had two big moments. The first one was I was doing my workout with Tony Horton. I got to try the 22-minute hardcores, which is a great workout, by the way. No equipment. It's kind of interval type training, but it wasn't crazy intense. It was definitely doable. It has modifications. I think it'll be a good workout. But what I really loved about what he had to say before we started is the reason why he created this workout. He is a big advocate of the military. He loves to work with the military. A lot of his workouts are kind of military exercise type based. But he said the reason why he created this program was because he felt there was a need. There was a lot of people who were in the military who were struggling to pass their PRT, and they were getting kicked out of it, getting kicked out because of it. And he felt that it was a problem that wasn't being addressed, and he wanted to do something about that. So that's why he created this workout, because he believes that everybody has a chance and everybody has the ability to change and to become better. And I was standing there, I was almost crying because it's freaking emotional, me and Christina. But no, it was just that moment. I was yes, that's exactly why I am here. That's exactly why I got started in this business in the first place, because I truly believe what this company has to offer. I believe that the heart behind their workouts are to empower people, to give people their hope back, and to change lives. And that is their focus. And that is the reason why I wanted to become a part of that, because I wanted to be able to have an impact in people's lives in that way as well. I wanted them to see that they can accomplish things if they're willing to put in the time and the effort. And if they have that support network, they absolutely can do it. And being that person that can help them do that that's at the end of the day, that's bigger than any paycheck. That makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I've accomplished something more than rank or a paycheck ever will. And I felt like that was just my missing piece. I was focusing so much on coaches, getting coaches in and kind of the business side of it. And I had kind of lost focus of the core of what we do. And that is to change people's lives, to give people their hope back. So really taking a turn and focusing on leading with service above everything else. And that starts with our challenge groups. So really, looking at a lot of other coaches, the difference between, those productive coaches and those that are really struggling really comes down to those coaches that are more productive, really have a sense of purpose. They're doing this more for inspiring people and helping people than they are doing it for the money. And I think when you have your focus in the right place, the rest, everything else just falls into place naturally. So really focusing on, it's not what we sell that makes us as coaches or this company great. It's really what we stand for and what we offer people. So yeah, products, obviously that's how we get paid, but it's really bringing those people on board that have passion and purpose. That's really what creates an amazing team. So when you have coaches that are driven by a purpose, a passion, they're going to do everything they can to reach just one person. That's all they care about. But when they're doing that, when they're trying to reach that one person, they're going to be reaching thousands of people along the way. But they are going to keep striving and moving forward just to make that difference in one person's life. So that's why it's important to really plug in with our challengers, because having them get results, that's what creates the story. That's what creates the passion. That's what creates solid advocates, who in turn make great coaches, because those are the coaches that are going to stick around for the long term. They're going to push through when, they may not be making a paycheck, because they don't care about that. They just care about inspiring people and wanting to make a difference, because they know firsthand what it feels like to get those results. It's empowering to them. So how can we kind of create this movement? The best way to do it is to chronicle your own fitness journey on Facebook and really be transparent about it. I mean, obviously, we all have things that we don't want to share with the public, and that's okay. But there's a lot of things, a lot of ways we feel that we can share. And that really is what connects people. We're a very emotional culture. So your social media needs to be emotional, because that's what's going to attract people. Emotion attaches people. People are drawn in by that emotion. That's really what's going to connect with them, and that's what's going to set you apart. So the other thing we need to start doing too is not everybody's going to relate to our personal story, and that's why it's important to showcase other challengers and really share their stories. And kind of the direction I'm going to start going is kind of to paint the picture, kind of a day in the life of this particular challenger and what they've had to overcome, what their day looks like, how they've progressed, how they feel about it, and just really tell the story, because that's really what's gonna, that story is going to speak to somebody. So sharing different stories, makes a huge impact as well. I just shared a story yesterday on my neighbor and good friend who really battled with, she was in like 3 car accidents. She has fibromyalgia. She has been in pain for a really long time. Like a lot of days it was debilitating. She couldn't do anything. Her husband's deployed right now. She started 21 Day Fix a couple months ago, and she has not missed a day. Like she is, doubling up sometimes. She is, going all in. She's like meal planning like crazy. But because of that, like her pain, like she was on medication, she was going to physical therapy, and nothing was making a difference in her pain levels. Now she says her pain is practically non-existent, and she's able to do things around the house. She's able to keep up with the kids. She's able to do her laundry. She's able to do her dishes. And before, those things were just too much for her. But she has the energy and she feels good now because of it. And, you know, she's losing weight and she's into, you know, a smaller pant size. And that right there is an amazing story. You know how many people I've talked to that have had fibromyalgia and they use it as, you know, they just feel like they don't have any hope at all. That is an amazing story. And I make sure that I tell Kara, you know, she's Canadian military, so she can't become a coach right now because of freaking the way Beachbody has it set up. But anyway, she's moving back to Canada in the summer, and she wants to become a coach. She wants to become an advocate because she really, truly believes in what Beachbody has to offer. And she truly believes what a coach can do for somebody. That's going to be a coach who's going to have a huge impact. Okay, that's what we want to create. But in order to do that, we need to empower those challengers and tell them why their story is important, who that can reach, who it can inspire, because they do not see that themselves. So it's our job to make sure that they can see that they have that belief in themselves, that they can make a difference with people. So don't be afraid to reach out to those challengers and ask them and tell them how much of an impact their story can have on somebody. And doing it often, you know, send them a personal message once a week and tell them how their work or their dedication has, you know, helped you, how proud of them you are. You know, you guys are all doing a super fantastic job in the group, I must say. Like, this challenge group, I think, is by far our best because there is so much positivity in there. You know, even yesterday when we did that like plank challenge, you know, there was a lot of people like, I only did like 1:30, but that is a huge, like, imagine those planks 2 months ago. It would be 20 seconds. You know, 1.5 minutes is a huge victory, but people don't realize that. So it's our job to make sure that even though they think those victories are small, they are huge for them and that they should be proud of that. So you guys are all doing a really like this good. Hopefully we can keep this type of momentum going with each challenge group. I know like everyone's not the same. And I do feel like the first challenge group of the year is usually the best because people are like highly motivated. That's obviously going to taper off. But I think if we keep doing what we're doing in that group now, I think I think everybody in there will be great potential coaches. Like everybody. There's like everybody I look in there, I'm like, great coach, great coach, great coach, great coach. We just need to let them see that. We want our challengers to see the value in what they've done and share it with the world so that they can find that one person that they can help. We really want to make sure that they realize the impact they can have on somebody's life. So, you know, really our main goal as coaches is to be that mentor to our challengers, to be that person that truly believes in them, because, you know, at this point, they've probably felt like they don't have anybody else. You know, that's usually why people come to us, is they've tried everything else and it just hasn't worked. That's why they're not going to the gym anymore. That's why they failed at the gym, because they just don't have that mentor there for them. So that's really what we need to focus on being for them. So you have to realize people are alone, people are struggling, and they're suffering kind of by themselves. And it's our mission to be there for them. And it's really our mission to reach out to them as well, because this is a very personal journey. You know, they're probably not going to want to come to us and ask for help. And that's why it's so, so important to send out those invites and not just send, you know, very impersonal ones, but take the time to connect with them, to find out what their goals are, and really assure them that that you are there for them every step of the way, and how important and impactful these groups can be for them, and really paint the picture for them. And I know this is going to take a little bit more time because it's not going to be a cut and paste kind of thing. You know, some of it can be, but a lot of it is just really trying to feel that emotion yourself, having that passion inside of you so that you can project that into your message. I think that's a big missing link when people send out those invites is, I know as a new coach, you don't have that confidence yet, but I think if you truly believe in these groups, and I think this group is a perfect example of that, everybody's fired up, everybody's got that passion, you can just feel it in there. And that's what you need to project into those invites, because people pick up on that, and that's what's going to attract them, because they know that you really want to help them and you're going to be there for them. So the main reason for this is, people aren't really attached to these products. These products aren't going to be like, oh my gosh, like I just feel like Shaun T like spoke to me. No, like that's not what brings people back. It's what we do as coaches. It's us mentoring them that people become attached to. And when they're attached to that, they're going to stick around for the long term, either as, a reoccurring customer, a reoccurring challenger, or as a coach that's going to be in it for the long term. And that's what we want. So you have to realize it's not what we sell, it's really what we stand for. So take the time, be a belief maker out of yourself and your challengers, because when you believe in them, they start to walk taller, they start to carry themselves differently, and you can tell. Like Christina had a great challenger who was a discount coach who had some big goals, and she didn't have the belief in herself, but Christina worked hard to give her that belief. She really raised her up in the group, and because of that, now she's becoming an advocate. She's signing coaches now. She's she's inspiring others, all just because Christina said, no, your excuses are invalid. We're here to make this work. So let's do this. We're in this together. Once they have that, they start to believe that they can start to make a difference too. And I think that's really what we need to start focusing on when it comes to building this business, is not necessarily build for, bringing coaches in, bringing business builder coaches, but we need to focus on bringing challengers in, rocking their socks off, and turning them into advocates, who in turn will turn into coaches, who will turn into business builder coaches, because they really have a belief that they can make a difference. So anyways, that was my takeaways. That's the direction I'm going to start going in. I'm still going to run a coaching at a glance, but I'm not going to be running coaching ads right now, because I want to focus on my challengers. I want to focus on creating advocates, and I want to focus on building a team of people who really truly believe in what they do and what they can offer people, because I think it just makes everything a lot more enjoyable. And I think it brings success earlier for coaches, because they truly know what it's like to be, in the beginning, feeling hopeless and having that renewed sense of self, that belief in themselves. And I think that goes a long ways. So anyways, what are your guys' thoughts?
I think that's a good idea. I know that with coaching in a glance, usually my coaches that I'm talking to, I've already kind of sent them the videos and I've already really talked to them. So by the time coaching at a glance comes around, it's kind of just like a rerun of what I've already talked to them about, what I've